Three. Hey guys, welcome to Let's Play Okami. This is going to be a really fun game because I love it. Like, for me at least. I'm gonna try to sound as live as possible, even though this is gonna be post-commentary. Yeah. Anyways, this here is basically just telling the story of the whole the legend of Orochi. This is really just going to be a beginning part. I'll explain the controls next video. So yeah, and here they're talking about Orochi, which I guess you can kind of say is the villain of this game. Not really. In mythology, he's made out to be a dragon. This game is very based off Japanese mythology. And yeah, and here we're now talking about our past self, Shiranui, whom is a wolf. So yeah, that's pretty much the dealio right there. Who is also a god. Keep that in mind. It's gonna come into play a bit later. Yeah. And here we're gonna talk about Nagi. It's based off of Izanagi from Japanese mythology, who's the father of all celestial beings. He keeps trying to best Shiranui, but he epic fails, pretty much. That's how it works. And then they're gonna explain Izanami, who's the mother of all celestial beings in mythology. She's referred to in the game as just Nami, who yeah, it really is just throwing a ton of information into your face. Really, that's all that is going on. And yeah, and here we're gonna take mention of the Moon Cave, which is Orochi's home, pretty much. And here we're gonna talk about the battle. Well, the game is gonna be talking about the battle between Nagi and Orochi. And yeah, it's saying that Orochi's hide is like too tough for the blade to slash, pretty much. And then came Shiranui, which kind of explained, well, it kind of told the people who played the game, hey, this wolf is a god, deal with it, pretty much. And yeah, a bunch of crazy stuff happens. That's pretty much all you're doing, pretty much. Definitely should skip this. And here is one of our abilities, Wind. Or Gale Storm, I should say. Gale Storm will basically summon Howling Wind. It all depends on the way you draw the little thing of wind. Draw a dot in the ground, and you get a tree. That's Flora. Now back on topic with the Gale Storm. Basically you do like a loop. If you drew it to the right, it's going to blow right. To the left, it's going to blow to the left. And then if you do a spiral, if you go inward with a spiral, you do a forward wind. And if you go out with the spiral, then you do a back wind. Or headwind, I should say. And here is another of our abilities. We have I don't really know what you'd call it. Crescent, I believe it's called. Yeah, I think it's Crescent anyway. And here... And, yeah, this is just ridiculous. With his, friggin', with his blade and everything, so, yeah. And he actually severs all the heads and chops one, besides one, and the one that he doesn't, decapitate, he, like, cuts down the middle. It's kind of ridiculous, but, yeah. And then... yeah, they just now take mention of its toxin. Honestly, it kind of makes me a little hard to believe. Seriously, it just makes it hard to believe. And then... oh, jeez. Sorry about that. And here comes the end of it. Well, rather the end of the story. Trust me, there's going to be a really long cutscene coming up. That, my friend, is the pretty much dealio right there. And here we're going to talk about the statue of Shiranu that has been erected. And then they place Tsukuyomi in the cave, which is Nagi's sword. And that's not where the story ends, trust me. There's a whole other chapter to that. Okay, and that's in the actual gameplay. And nobody actually notices. It's really weird. And be prepared. Possibly one of the greatest characters in this game. We'll be meeting him later on. And yeah. Here he pulls out of the ground. Big mistake there, buddy. Drops it. That unleashes the dark powers of orochi. And here comes the firehead. He has 8 heads, as mentioned. There's fire, light, dark, poison, earth, water, wind, and thunder. The thunderhead is possibly the dumbest of them because it's in the back. And the fire is the smartest because it's up front and it actually knows what's going on. Unlike the thunderhead. So he's all like, so the Thunderhead just like pops up every now and then, just like, huh? What's going on? Because he doesn't know what it's like. And yeah, there's the Thunderhead right there. He just smacked right into that. And here, Orochi unleashes his dark power. Pretty much uproots a bunch of trees and obliterates them. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And trees are very important. It blackens out the sky. And yeah, this is the PS2 version in case you're wondering. Yeah, I honestly hate that type of loading. Horrible strategy suddenly swept over. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It's here that the real story begins. I was just reading off the text right there. Which is normally a live tactic. I was able to make it out on the small screen. And here is our first character to be introduced to us. Of the game, we have Sakuya. Sakuya, being a wood sprite, can't really leave her home, so yeah. And here is the statue of which she will revive Okami Amaterasu with that, our first weapon. I believe it's called Divine Intervention. Not sure about that though. She flings it up in the air, boomerangs around, and wouldn't you know it, lands on the statue and turns the statue into a live wolf, which is Okami Amaterasu, our main character, who was then replaced with Chibitarasu in Okami Den, the sequel for DS. Haven't played it yet, so yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the whole part because, trust me, this is a long cutscene. Very long. So yeah. And we just go to sleep, which is funny. And there's also... Okay, here comes possibly my favorite of all video game partners in history, of my personal gaming history. And they're also going to take mention of Nippon, which is our world. And Nippon, or Nippon I guess I should say, is Japanese for Japan. So, yeah. This game takes place entirely in Japan. Here it comes! This is awesome! Watch, watch, watch. Just watch. Okay, that laugh is creepy. Just saying. And after a lot of creepy laughing, we see our third character to be introduced to us, which is possibly my favorite of all game companions. Even more than Fi from Skyward Sword. With its awesome theme. Just listen. And yeah, say hello to Wandering Artist Isun. Yeah, Isun. He's based after Isun Boshi from mythology. I guess I should mention that. It was funny. He just throws it onto our face. It's ridiculous. Well, wait, I think you could the real thing, huh? Oh. That's just ridiculous. And it rests on our nose. And this is kind of ridiculous. What? We eat him? And we spit him out. And whenever he gets enraged, he will turn red. Because the light that he gives off will turn red. It's a lot like Navi and Tattle in Zelda. In a sense, this game's a lot like Zelda. I.e., you know, the light-giving partner and all that, so... And, yeah. Next part is where the real gameplay begins. And, yeah. Just gonna bring forth Konohana, the tree that guards Kamiki. And as you can see, there's a large fruit right there. And we have to cut it down. But we need a sort of special power. Yes, the village will be restored if we cut it down. It's awfully high up. Now, with a special power known as Power Slash, we can cut that down. So, guys, we will actually get on to the true gameplay next time. Bye.